All right, 6th grade, let's get started. Okay, our objective today, Neil, is to talk about surface area of pyramids and maybe cones. We'll see how you guys do with pyramids first because they're pretty similar. Before we get to that, I want to go over the warm-up, which is surface area of a cylinder, and then we have 2 homework assignments to go through. So first thing, can someone remind us what is the formula for surface area of a cylinder? Camille? Good job. 2b plus ch. What was the formula that we used for rectangular and triangular prism? Amberly? Good. 2b plus ph. So they're basically the same. But remember, you can't find perimeter of a circle. You have to use circumference. On Friday this week, you're having a short quiz on just surface area, okay? And then, yes, we're going to move on and finish up the cumulative review or the next part. We'll see how far we get with that. Okay, so number 1, what did you guys get for surface area? Drew, what'd you get? Good. I'm going to put 0.6 yards squared. So that's fine. So there's the first one. Josh, what did you get for number 2? Good. 628 centimeters squared. Okay, before we move on to the next thing, does anyone have questions on either of those? Positive? Raise your hand if you got both of those right. Oh, wow. Okay, good job. Okay, let's go over the homework then, since you guys are okay. Okay, let's start with page 157, which I told you don't find the volume because I didn't teach you that yet. Just find surface area. So let's go over page 157 first, and then we'll read through the first part of the cumulative review answers. Okay, Kevin, number 1 on 157.
2,512 squared.
Good. Number 2, Amberly. Good. Peyton, number 3. Good. 125.6 yards squared. See, please don't do that. Okay. Number 4, Greta. Good. Number 5, Nathan S. Good. Nathan M, number 6. Okay, it should be 868. Maybe you rounded something differently. Maybe you used the pi button instead of 3.14. But you're close enough, Nathan M. But make sure you're using 3.14. Okay? Ray. Neil, don't yell out. Nathan or Ray. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. What problems of these do you guys need me to go over? Oh, wow, that was really easy, huh? None? All right. Can I do 6? Yeah. Let me read to you first, Drew, what the first part of the formula should be. Okay, ready? So 2 pi times 60 squared, because that's 2 pi r squared, plus 2 times pi, you found it, times 60 times 75. You got it? Okay. Okay. Ben? Okay, let me read the first step and see if you notice your mistake. Did you write down your work? Okay, some of it. So first step for number 1 should be 2 pi 8 squared plus 2 pi 8 times 42. You then end up with 401.92 plus 2,110.08. And then just add them, you get 2,512. Okay? Neil? Okay, I'll add another point, but you have to be done when you come to class. All right, let's go over the review answers. And what I'm going to do is just read through them so we don't waste a lot of time just going around the room. So let me read through 1 to 33. Please check them. I have your cumulative exams scheduled for next Wednesday to start it. There might be a chance that we move it to Thursday. So either the 30th or the 31st is when we're going to take that. That's the last thing we're doing. Okay, so number one, just you had to evaluate. I wasn't worried about writing it in words. Number one is 16. 2 is 343. 3 is 16. 4 is 13. 5 is 12. 6 is negative 16. 7 is 13. And 8 is negative 10. Okay, 9 is negative 6. 10 is negative 8. 11 is negative 45. 12 is 26. 13 is negative 5. 14 is 9. 15 is negative 8. 16 is 5. Josh? How did I get 9 for 14? I would say the easiest way for you guys to do this is to use the cross product, which is the butterfly method. So you have 11y equals 99, and then divide both sides by 11. Does that make sense? Okay. Alexis? Yeah, that's fine too. Yep. Okay. 17 is 22. 18 is 8. 19 is negative 7. 20 is negative 130. Okay, Camille? Okay. Ben? Well, this one I would say multiply both sides by 4. You could do cross product, but multiply both sides by the bottom of the fraction to get rid of it. Okay? Okay, 21. X is less than or equal to 6. Filled in circle. Oh, sorry.
That's 28 and 33. That's 74.
Okay, 21. Ben. Stop. 21, negative 9. 22, negative 65. I know it, I don't have them up there. 23, negative 1.8. 24, 4.67. 25, 0.18 or 18 over 100. 26, negative 5.7. 27, 16. 28 is up there. So 28, x is less than or equal to 6. Filled in circle, arrow go to the left. 29, y is greater than 2. Open circle, arrow go to the right. 30, x is greater than or equal to negative 4. Filled in circle, arrow going to the right. 31, x is greater than or equal to 12. Filled in circle, arrow going to the right. 32, x is less than negative 6. Open circle, arrow go to the left. 33, x is greater than or equal to negative 1. Filled in circle, arrow going to the right. Okay, Ray? You need a repeat or you need to know how to do them? Okay, number 30. First thing you need to do, Ray, is subtract 13 on both sides. Okay? Hey. Oh, yeah, don't do that. That's why. Because at this point, you end up with negative 16 less than or equal to 4x. Divide by 4, and that's how you get x is greater than or equal to negative 4. You all right? Okay, and then 25, you said? Okay, 25, all you need to do is multiply both sides by 0.3. Well, you divided then. You need to multiply both sides by 0.3. Okay, to get rid of a bottom of a fraction, multiply both sides by that number. Okay? Steve? Well, you didn't have to do this for homework. It was just 1 to 33. I'll go over that part tomorrow. Okay? Ben? You pick one. Okay, 32 is an equation with variables on both sides. So I would get all the x's on the left, all the numbers on the right. So add 4x to both sides. So you have 14x plus 3 less than 81. And then subtract 3 on both sides. So you get 14x less than negative 84. Divide by 14, you get x is less than negative 6. All right, anyone else? Questions on any of that? Sure. Okay, let's go back to your notes. And I need you guys to open up to 10. 10.6a. So notes 10.6a. And it is page 22 in your notes. 22 in your notes, 10.6a. So one more reminder, on Friday you're having a quiz on just surface area while we're continuing to work on the cumulative review. And then definitely next week on Tuesday we're going to play a review game for the cumulative exam. And then we're going to start it next Wednesday or Thursday. I'm hoping Wednesday, that way you guys have enough time to finish it and check it over, right? That's what I would like to do, yes. All right, so I would like to talk about 2 more formulas for surface area today, but I want to see how you guys do first on pyramids before I go that far. So I want you to look at the picture that's up here, and obviously this is not in your notes, but here's a pyramid. We've talked a lot about pyramids so far. Something new that we haven't talked about is the slant height. I mentioned it once, but we haven't solved a problem with the slant height. So our slant height right here, your book uses as L. So your slant height, the book uses as L, okay? It's this height from here to here. It's kind of like it cuts this part in half. Sometimes you're given it, sometimes you're not. If we're not given it, we're going to break this down into a triangle and use Pythagorean theorem to find it. So it's kind of similar to the triangular prism formula where you have to use Pythagorean theorem a lot of times. So this one is more difficult than the cylinders. Okay, we are going to start with the formula, so everyone can jump to the formula. This formula is different. So we can't use 2b plus pH. We can't use 2b plus ch. We're now using, because a perimeter only has one base, instead of 2b, it's just b. So surface area of a pyramid, b plus 1/2 p times L, which means area of the base plus 1/2 times perimeter of the base times the slant height. So again, b plus 1/2 PL. There's only one base. That's why it's not 2b. B is area of the base. And the P is perimeter of the base, which I'm going to show you how that works. And L is the slant height. Steve? That's exactly what you do. Yep. Okay, after you guys jot that down, we're going to start with number 3. So number 1's too hard. We're going to come back to it. We're going to start with example 3. So on page 23 of your notes, stay with me. We're going to start with example 3. Okay, so first thing I want you guys to do is write down surface area is B plus 1/2 PL. So for a pyramid, the surface area formula is always B plus 1/2 PL. Okay, on number 3, what is the base? So what shape or what figure is the base? Drew? Good, it's a square. So we know the base here. I'm just going to put an arrow and I'm going to put the word square. So how do we find the area of the base if we know it's a square based on what we're given? Alexis? Good, side squared. So we have 47 times 47. So there's our first part. The area of the base is just 47 times 47. Now, the second part of the formula is 1/2 P times L. All right, so 1/2, how do we find the perimeter of that base? Grace, how do we find the perimeter of that base? Good, 47 times 4, or just add them all up, whatever you prefer. I usually just multiply it by 4 if it's a square, just to save me some time. All right, so times L. What do you think the L is? Without looking at my green thing up there, Ray. Good, 40, you said 43, right? Okay, 43 is our slant height. See how it kind of cuts this side of the pyramid in half? That's the slant. L is always the slant height. You will see this again in geometry. So it's always this side that's slanted, It always has to cut it in half. Be careful and make sure you're looking at the arrow that they have, whatever measurement pointing to, so you don't get confused. I don't want you to choose the wrong thing. Okay, questions on how we set this up? Okay, let's do one side at a time. 47 times 47 is 2209. Okay, so here's the part where you need to be careful with. I would type the right side into your calculator as 0.5 times 47 times 4 times 43. So I wouldn't even worry about dividing it by 2. I would just, in your head, change the 1/2 time to 0.5. So 0.5 times 47 times 4 times 43. After you do that, what do you get for the right-hand side? Steve, what'd you get? Good, 4,042. What is the total surface area of the pyramid? Abigail? Good. So do you think that's any harder than the cylinder yet? Not really? Okay. Any questions on that one? Okay, let's look at number 2, and then we're going to go back to number 1. So let's go to number 2, then we'll go back to number 1. Okay, number 2 is, of course, also a pyramid. So we have B plus 1/2 PL. Now, this one is different for a couple reasons. First question is, what is the base of number 2? Drew, what's the base? No. What figure is the base? Okay, good. So it's a triangle. What is that B there that they give you? What is that, Peyton? Yeah, they give you the area of the base already. If you see the B there, B is about. So all you need to do, they give you the area of the base. Just plug it in. There's nothing to think about. There's nothing to compute. Just plug it in. So sometimes they're going to give you the area of the base. Okay, second part. Sorry, Steve. We need to find the perimeter. So I'm going to tell you, I have tick marks up here. There should have been tick marks on yours to indicate that it's an equilateral triangle. So that was one mistake on the note packet. All the sides are the same of that triangle. It's an equilateral triangle. So, Gio, how can we find the perimeter? Good. Don't worry about that right now. We're using, a lot of times they'll give you this. Let me see this for 1 second. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Gio, they might have made a mistake, but usually it should work out because you're right, that is off a little bit. I think there's one like this on your homework, and it works out both ways. So don't worry about that for now. That's a good point, though. Okay, so perimeter of the base, you're taking 12 times 3, just add all the sides up, okay? And we're then multiplying everything by the slant height. Do we know what the slant height is, Camille? Good. Slant height is 17. Okay, so the first part we don't need to do because they already gave us the area of the base, which is 62.4. So take what's on the right, and I would, again, in your calculator, do 0.5 times 12 times 3 times 17. After you do that, what do you get for the right-hand side, Abigail? No. Did you do 0.5 times 12 times 3 times 17? I think you typed something in wrong. Ray, what did you get? No, but you guys are getting closer. Neil? Good, 306. Okay. So then total area is 368.4 yards squared. Ray, I just needed the right-hand side, not the whole area. Okay. So the reason I wanted to do this is if they give you the area of the base, use that, and then find the right side of the formula. Okay, let's do one more, number 1. Neil? Then you do the same thing, just plug in for perimeter. Same thing. Okay, number 1. So back to the first one. Okay, let's write down the surface area formula first. B plus 1/2 PL. Okay, and let's start with this. What is the base of this one? So what is the figure that is the base, Peyton? What's good? It's a rectangle. So to find area of a rectangle, we are just taking 8 times 3, length times width. Okay, plus 1/2 times the perimeter. To find perimeter of a rectangle, we're taking 8 plus 8 plus 3 plus 3, or 2 times 8 plus 2 times 3, times, what's the slant height? We don't know it. How do we find the slant height? Neil? Okay. Awesome. How'd you get 4, Neil? Good. Guys, extremely important that you remember this. This 16 is the height from here to the top of the pyramid. So it's how tall the pyramid is. It goes from the middle of it to the very top. The entire base from here to here is 8. So if you're cutting this in half and making a triangle to find the slant height, half of it is 4. So is everyone clear on where the 4 comes from? Okay, so we need to find the slant height, which the way that we drew this, the slant height is the hypotenuse. And it's always going to work out that way. Just be careful and make sure that your base is half of the base of the pyramid. Okay, let's use Pythagorean's theorem. We have 16 squared plus 4 squared equals L squared. So 16 squared is 256. 4 squared is 16. Add them, you get 272. So I'm going to have you guys just change it to a decimal because we need to calculate surface area. So Grace, what did you get for L? Good. Whoops. L is 16.5. So that is our slant height. You could have calculated that first before setting up the whole formula, but regardless of which way you do it, once you have your slant height, make sure you plug that into the formula after you found the perimeter. This is as difficult as the pyramid part's going to get. Yeah. Yep. We're only doing one more formula, Drew, though, so you guys should be okay. Okay, so let's simplify. 8 times 3 is 24. That part's easy. So I want you guys to be careful here. On this one, you need to do 2 times 8 first. So 16 plus 6 inside the brackets. Add that first, then multiply by 0.5, then multiply by 16.5. So if you haven't already simplified that part, go ahead and do that just so I can make sure you guys are okay with order of operations. Get your answer? No. You should do this part again. Careful. Yep. Let me see this for 1 second. You're good. All right, Shane, what'd you get on the right-hand side? You didn't get it yet, Abigail? Oh, sorry, Shane. Sorry, Abigail. Good. 181.5. Okay, then the entire thing, Abigail, what'd you get for the entire surface area? Good. 205.5 centimeters squared. Questions on that one? Okay, without looking, what is the area, surface area for a pyramid? Without looking. Gio.
Base plus 1/2 perimeter base times slant height.
Good, times slant height. What is the surface area formula for a cylinder? Amberly. Good, 2b plus ch. What is the surface area formula for rectangular and triangular prisms? Mike? Good, 2B plus pH. Okay, one more. I want to show you the last formula so we have time for a short review tomorrow, which is cones. I think I'm just going to do one problem with you, but let me explain the formula. Ooh, too far. Okay, so the last figure in your book that they introduce surface area is a cone. Hey, where did I go? Here we go. Okay, so this formula is pretty similar to the one we just learned. Okay, but I want you guys to write down this one first, then I'm going to simplify it for you. So B plus 1/2 instead of the perimeter, the circumference, times the slant height. So just like a pyramid, but a cone's base is a circle. So you can't use perimeter, you have to use circumference. So that's a good way to narrow this down. B plus 1/2 CL, it's just like pyramid. Your book gives the formula as B plus pi R L. How did they get that? How did they get pi R L? Shane, how did they get that? Yeah. Circumference is 2 pi r. So you guys can choose what formula you prefer. The reason I wrote it like this first is because it's very similar to the perimeter. The circumference is very similar to the perimeter, I can't talk, of the pyramid. So this formula is almost identical. But if you like it more specific, like the second one, that's fine. Raise your hand if you guys like the first one. Okay, what about the second one? Okay, kind of even, a little more for the second one. Okay, so I'm going to write it out like the second one, but you guys can write it out as either. Your call how you want to remember that. All right, let's just do example 1 and see how you guys do, because if you can do example 1, you should be okay on the rest of them. Okay, so I'm going to write the formula down as surface area equals base plus pi r L. Same thing as 1/2 times the circumference times the slant height. Okay, so B is area of the base. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay, so we have pi times the radius squared. We know the radius is 4, plus half the circumference times the slant height. Same thing as half the perimeter times the slant height, which is simplifies to pi r. And then what's L? Abigail? Careful. What's L? What's L? Greta? Yep. Ready? I didn't tell you that on purpose. The slant height of a cone is the slant of it. Without having a better word here. Slant of the cone. What Abigail told us, that's the height of the cone. I asked you that on purpose. Grace? Yes, it is. So just like we did with the pyramid, your favorite thing, Pythagorean theorem, we need to redraw that triangle. 14 is the height, 4 is the base. Abigail, you see what I mean, right? Okay. It's not just you that would have said that. So 14 is the height, slant of a cone is the side of it. Okay, does that make sense to everyone that it's the side of it? Okay, so you're going to take 14 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. We need to find what c is using Pythagorean theorem. Oh, actually, I'll let you guys do this. So 14 squared plus 4 squared, go ahead and square them and then add them. And I want someone to confirm what we get for the hypotenuse. Steve? Okay, well, 212 equals c squared, but you need to find c. Square root both sides. 212 equals c squared, which is the slant height. Good. So 14.6, which is what Grace told us, that is the slant height. That is your L. Is everyone okay with that? So you're going to plug that into your formula, which is 14.6. And now let's solve. Be careful on this because you need to square the 4 first. So 16 times 3.14 is 50.24. And then the right-hand side, 3.14 times 4 times 14.6 is 183.38. So what's the total surface area? Josh, what did you get? Good. All right. Ray. No. Nope, doesn't matter. Good question. You can multiply in whatever order you want. Steve? Okay, did you get 50.24 for the first one? Did you get 183.38 for the second one? Okay, so you probably just multiplied wrong. 3.14, Steve, times 4 times 14.6. Okay, add them together. 50.24 plus 183.38 is 233. Yeah, don't do. Remember, the calculator is not smart. So you got to do one step at a time. Okay. Okay, anyone else have questions on that? Okay, do you want to try another one?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. We do another one? No.
Okay, give me a thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down on cone. Okay, homework packet, everyone to open. If you had your thumb in the middle, here's what I want you to do. Okay. All right, let me do one thing at a time here. On the final review I'm going to start with, you're going to do the next 3 pages. Yep. Everyone pay attention to the numbers. And then, hold on. Let me give you the numbers. Ray, if you look at it, you could figure that out.
Yeah, Ray.
And let's see, the pyramid homework, I only want you to do, I'm getting to that. It's 154B. Nope, we're not doing that. Nope, we're not doing that. So you're only doing a couple problems of each, because if you can do a couple, you should know what you're doing for all of them. Okay, 1, 4, and 6, so 3 problems on that. And then the cone worksheet. Sorry, guys. Is it 155? Okay. Yep, thank you. Sorry, Kevin. Sorry, I know this is annoying. Page 155. I only want you to do the first 3. Okay. No, you're fine. All right. You guys have about 8 minutes to get started. So here's what I need you to do. If you had your thumb in the middle for the pyramid or the cone, go ahead and start with that so I can help you and or check once you have completed one. Go ahead and write the formulas down at the top of your page if you need to. Tomorrow, yes, I'm going to go over all that. We will do a warm-up with the pyramids and the cones. And then I have a review sheet ready for you guys for just surface area that we'll work on. Okay? Friday, I told you guys I won't be here, right? Oh. Friday's the day I have to get I'm going to be getting my eyes done. So, yeah. I'm leaving for Cincinnati on Thursday after work. So I'm getting it done in Cincinnati. My cousin does it there. No. He's done my whole dad's side of the family. So the reason I'm telling you that is you will have a sub, but all you're working on is your surface area quiz and then the next part of the cumulative review. Okay? Is everyone okay?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know yet. I need to check ASOP. Okay, make sure you guys all wrote down the correct